So today we're going to talk about the dark side of hustle culture. I don't have time to be going out and drinking and partying. I don't have time for relationships, all that stuff. And you see a lot of people practice and preach on social media that hustle culture is the way to go. And you even see people go to the extremes when they say, sleep. I don't gotta sleep. I don't got time for sleep. Bro, what you mean you don't got time for sleep? If you're constantly hustling and working and you don't get proper sleep, you are hurting yourself more than you're benefiting yourself. Because your brain and your energy and your body is not going to operate at 100% if you don't get proper sleep. I see this hustle culture mentality really popular especially with like really young people, like when we first turn 18 through our early 20s, we're thinking about that hustle culture. Now, the issue with that is that from my own experience, I adopted that at one point, and I felt like whenever I would want to play video games or watch TV, I would feel guilty if I wasn't doing something productive. Like, imagine that. Imagine being brainwashed to think that you always gotta be productive 100% of the time. Otherwise, you are wasting your time. And what you're actually doing is you're teaching yourself not to enjoy life and be happy, which is crazy because in life, you have what you do for a living, and then there's things that are worth living for. For example, if you're constantly in that state of mind where you gotta be productive 24/7, and if you're not doing something productive, then you're not gonna be successful. One, you're programming your mind and putting a lot of stress on yourself. And trust me, I know you stop yourself from being creative, from being present in what you're doing. You'll sacrifice sleep. You feel guilty for no reason. You feel like you're a failure. See, the hustle culture implies that the minute that you stop hustling, that you're a failure. But that's not the case. Things happen at different periods of time. Things might not happen at the time that you want it. And hustle culture teaches you that it's because you didn't work hard enough. No. So this whole mentality of grind now, enjoy later. Oh, I'll enjoy life when. I'll be happy when. See what you're doing? You're creating, what's the word I'm looking for? You're creating conditions for you to be happy, for you to be content, for you to be grateful in life. You're creating conditions. Now, I'll be happy when I'm rich. I'll start dating once I'm financially stable. I will feel confident in myself when I have the perfect physique. See, the problem with all of these statements is you're creating those conditions for yourself to enjoy life, to be happy, to be grateful, to build up your confidence, to enjoy life and experience life in general. What do you mean you're not going to enjoy life? What do you mean you're going to grind now and enjoy life later? We don't know how much time we're given. We don't know the opportunities that are going to pass us by. If you tell yourself, I'll be confident only when I have a great physique, what's going to happen is, well, there's two scenarios. One, you achieve the results that you want. You get a good physique. But confidence comes from within, not from external factors. So if you never learned your inner confidence, you're still going to be that unconfident person with a good physique. And then there's the second scenario where, let's say you don't get the physique that you want, and now you're going to beat yourself up over it because you didn't get what you wanted, and then your self-esteem lowers because you never learned to be happy with who you are. You never learn to work on your inner confidence rather than your outer confidence. If you think, oh, I'll date when I'm financially stable, or I'll date when I have these things in my life, what's going to happen then is you're going to reach a later point in your life, and then once you start dating, you will not have the experience whatsoever. Because if you're thinking, oh, when I have money and when I have a good career, when I have a good physique, that's automatically going to make me good at dating. No, dating is a learning experience and it takes time. And if you just put it off for so long, you're going to add so much pressure in the future to find your person in life. You can't neglect certain areas of your life 100% just because you're in that hustle culture mentality. So what happens is when you're constantly grinding and grinding and you never stop, you reach burnout. You might even come to hate the thing that you were grinding on. That sounds kind of weird when I say it out loud. But you might come to hate what you were doing because you put so much of your time and energy into it, and other areas of your life were hurting because of it. Like if you're working towards a physique, right? And you're on a diet, and then you eat something that's like not healthy. Like say you eat a hamburger because you're craving a hamburger, and then what, you start to feel guilty because you ate it. Like no, do not program your mind to do that. Now, is it a bad habit to continuously do it? Yes. You need to have the self-discipline to allow yourself to enjoy these things every once in a while and not make it into a bad habit. To enjoy these things without sacrificing discipline, without sacrificing your work ethic. And that's the hard part, which is something that I'm working on, but I've gotten better at. But let me tell you from personal experience, I bought into that hustle culture mentality, and all it did for me was make me miserable. It made me feel inadequate. It made me feel like I wasn't doing enough. It made me feel like a failure. And above all else, I was too concerned with making the wrong choice. So a lot of things would suffer because of that fear, which is something that, I'll probably talk about more at another time. Because here's the thing, unless you really enjoy your work and you're a workaholic, unless you really enjoy that, what's going to happen is you're just going to work, and you're going to feel empty inside because you're neglecting all the other areas of your life. And achieving more things does not mean you're going to be more fulfilled. So when you're constantly focused on this hustle culture mentality and you're sacrificing sleep, you're sacrificing your diet, you're sacrificing enjoying life, what's going to happen is you're going to increase your stress levels. You're going to probably increase your anxiety. And in return, you're probably going to have a weakened immune system. You're going to have a dose of depression in there. And did I mention being miserable? You're going to isolate yourself. You're going to self-isolate from friends and family. And then you're going to feel alone. When you finally realize that you've been spending too much time on this hustle culture, you're going to feel regret, maybe hate yourself a little bit. So don't feel the pressure of keeping up with certain people who are in a better position than you are in life. Things will happen with time. If you are working, if you are putting in the work, then trust the process. Because remember, true happiness is about health, wealth, love, and happiness, not just wealth. I actually heard someone put it really nicely. Work should serve your life, not consume your life. Because productivity guilt is a thing where you feel bad if you're not productive. You feel bad if you didn't accomplish what you set out to do today or the week. And yeah, you can learn from it. As long as you can be constructive and focus on how you can be better instead of beating yourself up over it and thinking of yourself as a failure, then you're good. But, I have a but. You need to schedule the proper time for rest, for things that make you happy, for hobbies, for relationships. So remember, hard work is important, but so is living. Enjoy your life. You have time. You have time to reach your goals. Enjoy the journey. Don't be so focused on the destination. I'm gonna end things with a story that my grandfather told me about one of his coworkers, where he lived and breathed the hustle culture. He would work 7 days a week. He would work 7 days a week because it was his goal to pay off his house. And they would tell him, hey man, slow down. That house isn't going anywhere. Just come out with us and have some drinks. And he said, nah, I'm going to put in overtime. I'm going to pay off my house soon. Because that was his main goal, to pay off his house. He had that hustle culture mentality. He said, now I'll enjoy life when I pay off my house. So what ended up happening was he was working 7 days a week. He would burn himself out, and he accomplished his goal. He paid off his house. because he would work 7 days a week, every week of the year. Overtime, everything. But as soon as he paid the house, 1 week later, he died. He passed away. Why did he pass away? Because he put so much stress in his body, he wouldn't sleep that much. He was sleep deprived, his stress levels were high. But because he focused so much on paying off his house, on working 7 days a week, he paid off his house, he reached his goal, but he never got to enjoy life. So think about that. Call that friend you haven't seen in a while. Go take a walk at the park. Watch that show that you've been meaning to watch. Whatever it is that fills you, make sure you have some time to do that as well. Because yes, we have to work in this life, but we also have to find things that are worth living for. I'll see you on the next one.